Hello everyone, today we're doing a video chart on STHG, Stratton Holdings Incorporated, and I think I'm going to go over a lot of stuff actually. I think I'm going to go over a lot of chart stuff in particular, not this stock. Although I'll be mentioning this stock, I'm just going to actually go over some other stuff also. First off, I'm going to start with the tight volleys. So you see how we had the tight volleys here, and then we had the nice explosion. I used to talk about tight volleys all the time because they're my favorite plays. So we have the tight volleys. Sometimes they'll pop, sometimes they'll drop, but when they pop, they usually pop really nice, and they did this case. And then we consolidated sideways. We got the tight Bollinger Bands again. We got a huge pop, and so that's something I really like. It's my favorite play. I love the tight Bollinger Bands. So look for them. You look for the moving averages to be aligned. And if it's going to be a pop, you'll look for the 5-day moving average to come up through the 13-day moving average. And that's a good signal that it's going to be a pop, not a drop. And so I just wanted to mention that because I like that pattern a lot. We're going to be talking about repeating patterns. And this, if you look, here, I'll just show you this half of the chart. So if I was to draw a line here, like I did here, here, and here, you'll see when this black line, which is the full stow overlay over the purple line, which is the PPO indicator, when it pops up from bottom, so does the stock. When it pops up from bottom, so does the stock. You sort of get the idea. And now we have a pincher play on the 60-minute chart. So stow is definitely bound to pop again. You're going to see that both the PPO and the stow start to turn up. You're going to see this ADX line start to turn down, and I think we're going to get a pop here as it held nice support here on the 200-day moving average. It pretty much, for the last 4 hours of the day, it tested it here, or 5 hours maybe, and it held. So this is proving to be a very good support line, and then we know we got the pincher coming, plus the eye has already started to curl up, which is a good sign. And if you see when Trick starts to curl up and cross the signal line, boom, right here it happened, right here it happened, and it happened right here at the end of the day. So another good sign. We have the Tricks curling up again. We have it crossing the signal line. We finally have an uptick from plus DI, which has been on a big downtrend. Okay, so now I'm just going to scroll down and look at the repeating patterns below here. Same with the MACD. When it crossed the signal line and we start getting the histogram started coming up from over under the 0 line and started growing. Here it works the opposite. So here, would have been where the downtrend started, where it crossed down through a signal line. And you can see that because the MACD histogram bars are getting smaller and smaller. And then when they cross down below 0, that's probably, if I scroll up, I'm sure that's probably where we peaked up here. So these are things to look for. I'm just trying to show you some chart stuff. And again here, so we have the MACD, we have the histogram. They can be a good early warning signal, whether it's going to be a reversing trend for an uptrend or a downtrend. You can often, the histogram bars, especially me, I have these fast settings with 5:15:10 as opposed to the standard 12:26:9. So they can sometimes get false signals because they're a lot earlier, but they can also, give you advance notice, and it can actually be a leading indicator like the Trix 3.3 is, as opposed to a lagging indicator, which most indicators are. So, the histogram bars can often tell you as they get smaller and smaller below 0, when the price is maybe still trending sideways or down, you can sort of tell that maybe a change in trend is coming. And we see this here. We see the histogram bars starting to get smaller and smaller, and now they're about to cross the 0 line. So hopefully we're going to get the same sort of thing we had here, where they cross the 0 and start getting bigger. And again, we haven't had a pop since these guys here, the Willie and the RSI, have come up from oversold, and they're coming up from oversold right at the end of the day again today. And this was our last uptrend start here, and we've been on a downtrend pretty much ever since. And now it looks like we're starting a new uptrend here as we're getting that solid support, and it looks like possibly a bounce right here off that 008 support from the 200-day moving average. So this is key. We definitely want this 008 to hold. Absolutely positively want that to hold. also the same with the CMF. You can see, you know, when it's above 0, it starts growing. It's a good sign. It's not a good sign when it gets down here below the 0 line and keeps going down this way. So it's sort of leveled off, sort of curled up a little. So this is something, the CMF is something, and that's a fast CMF too. It's not the standard, it's 10. So again, Monday morning, we're gonna want to see this start to curl up as a good indicator that the trend is actually reversing and we're now starting a new uptrend as opposed to the downtrend we've been on. MFI has already come up from oversold, so we want to see that keep moving up like it did here. So these are all things to watch for tomorrow morning at the open. We want to see, I mean, the money flow is really important. So these are two that we really, really want to watch. We want to see this CMF start moving up here, and this has already come up from oversold, so we just want it to continue. Breaking above 50 is going to be a really, really good sign. Breaking above 0 for this guy is going to be a really, really good sign. You can see that there's still a lot of accumulation. You know, it's had its dip, but it's starting to flatten out. Now it's starting to curl up again. So, I mean, it didn't fall way back here. It didn't tank right down. So that's a positive. So I like, typically when I play plays, this is where I'm at. If you watch my videos before, you know I like to have these three things, the tricks, curling up sharply, and I want to see the RSI 2 and 5 and Willie 14 coming up from oversold all at the same time. So I'm a bottom player, and that's how I pick my bottoms. I use other things obviously, but just playing those three things alone, you can make money. Just stick those three indicators on a chart. You know, well, I don't know, say RSI 5, Willie 14, and Tricks 3, and watch when they all start to curl up at the same time, come up from oversold. You know, it's usually a good indicator that the bottom's in and we're ready for a bounce. And like I said, oftentimes Tricks 3 is a leading indicator, so it's a good one to watch as well. I drew this line here. You can see we're getting higher lows, so which is not a good thing. But if we can break above this line, we can break that downtrend it's been on, and that would be a bullish sign. So that's another thing to look for, and that just happens to probably roughly be right about the 0 line. So if the Tricks does cross 0, it's going to break this downtrend line that we've been on, and so that's going to be another bullish thing. So these are all things you can look for, and I'll post this chart on Investors Hub tonight, so you can look at it in the morning as when the trading opens, and you can look at these things I'm mentioning and see what's happening. So key again, we want to see both. This black line is the stow. It's probably going to curl up before the purple line does, so that might be your first indicator. Watch for the black line to curl up, and then shortly after you'll probably see the purple line curl up. And then we want this plus DI to continue up. We don't want it to curl back down. So we want to see plus DI, because plus DI is kind of important with this pincher play stuff. So definitely want to see plus DI keep going up. We don't want to see it go down. And we look for this black line here to start curling down as these two lines start curling up. Like I said, we have the repeating patterns, and it seems like we have that pattern again. And so hopefully tomorrow will be the day that we have a reversing trend and we now start a new uptrend. Good luck trading, everyone.